Morning from Desert Valley Power Sports. I thought I'd make a quick video on rear shock absorbers. So this is off a KTM 890. It's leaking pretty good, hemorrhaging out. When it's in the bike, you can actually bounce the rear of the suspension. This thing's so blown out that you can get the bike bunny hopping just by bouncing the rear of the bike. That's how blown out this shock is. So I just want to take a quick minute and show you guys how to start taking one of these shocks apart. This is the White Power, the WP Explorer shock out of a KTM 890. And again, it's just leaking really bad. So I actually made my own tool, a couple pieces of all thread, some round collets, and then I found this in the KTM Special Tools. It's nice. It grabs the eyelet and kind of centers the top of the shock mount there in a manner that's will keep it from getting marred up or damaged. I'm going to put that on the bottom of my tool here. I'm going to go ahead and set the shock on in, get it kind of centered up and locate it, and then the top piece of the tool, which is going to go down over my all thread, and it's going to go around the base plate where the two keepers are and allow me to compress the spring down and pull out the two retaining plates. And let me just show you. Get this all mocked up. I got it in a vise, so I'm not sitting there trying to freehand this thing. Vise acts as my third hand. All right. I'm just going to take them down to seat. And then start tightening them up. And they're going to start compressing the spring. I'm going to take my hand away because you always hear horror stories of this, but slow, methodical, take your time. And it's actually not that much force to release the tension to get these collets out. Alright, a little bit more, so it looks like I'm a little higher on this side, so I'm going to take that one down a little bit, take that one down. And then that should be enough for me to get the collets out. Yep, so there's one collet, retainer, whatever you want to call them. There's the other one. It's just a split. Pull those guys out. Now loosen up my tool. And I'm going to go back and forth, side to side, trying to bring it up evenly. Until tension's released. I'm going to pull my bolts off. And I'm going to pull my top plate out of the tool. Set all that down. Now there's the collet holder or the sleeve, the spring seat sleeve, retaining plate holder, and then off comes the spring. And just as easy as that, it is to change the spring, but now I gotta go through and, ooh, stuff's moving around. At least all my settings backed up. Let's go ahead and take the rest of the shock body apart. Get the locking plate up and out of the way. There should be a spring in here. There we go. Got the locking spring out of the way. Now it should be able to pull up and out of the shock body without getting oil everywhere. And this is the seal head. You can see the seal there. That's almost always what winds up leaking. And then this is seals up. You got your seal head, seals the body with the outer O-ring, and then the shaft seal. That's usually what's leaking in there. The shaft seal in the middle, and then the body O-ring, and then this is all your valving where the fluid flows through and controls your compression and dampening and remount rates. All right.
Okay, so now we got the piston shaft assembly, damper rod assembly, whatever, all torn apart. Now I gotta take this apart to get the seal head off, to put a new seal head on. So let's just go through that part. So this is the first time I've done a KTM WP rear shock absorber, so just taking my time following the manual. It says I need to heat this top nut up quite a bit to break down Loctite. Heat's about the only thing that breaks Loctite down. So let's just heat that up and see if we can get that off and start taking this apart. The piston assembly. Fire! Now I'm going to move the flame around, not trying to burn anything or overheat anything, but I'm just going to work the heat around the flame, try to get it up warm enough to break down that Loctite so we can get this thing apart and get it rebuilt. Alright, I see it's smoking a little bit. It's literally smoking hot. And there we go. It just broke tension nice and easy. Not rounding off any corners, not marring anything up. And coming apart pretty smoothly, really. But it is hot. So, without losing anything or getting the parts all mixed up or dropping anything here, I'm going to try to take it off while it's still hot. I should really just let it cool down. But I'm a mechanic in a shop and time is money. Never enough time to do the job right the first time. Always enough time to do it right the second time. Booey. Alright, and then I'm going to lay these parts out as they come off. There you go. Alright. So now, I must need to get this nut off. Is that one hot? Alright, pull that one off. Little shim here, washer. Pull that off. They're paying very close attention to the orientation. And I believe this is the valve body. So they have a lot of shims and a lot of little minute pieces in there you can get messed up. The manual says grab a screwdriver, and I've seen this on other manufacturers too. Put a screwdriver on here and pull this all off right onto the screwdriver to keep everything oriented. So let me grab a screwdriver. Grab a Phillips head, the tip fits into the end of the shaft nicely. And we're just going to slide that whole shiboogie right up on there. And I'm going to lay that down right in my laid out parts pile here in order. And then Bob's your uncle. There's the seal head. The shaft seal, that's probably what was failing, where all the fluid went. And then the housing O-ring, it's almost always the shaft seal. So when you're rebuilding these shock absorbers, this is pretty much the meat and potatoes of it. Meat and potatoes, but it's the seal head. Get it apart, get a new one of these in, get oil, get it nitrogen filled. Hot diggity. Go racing, race fans. Alright, cool. I'm going to proceed to clean up, check the manual, prep this to get the new seal head on, and then start putting it back together. I'll take you along for that in a second.
Alright, so I got the new seal head on there, on the piston shaft. So it has a little bit of a lip here to protect the lip. I put it on the special tool, slide it on this guy, which is the same diameter as this guy. Drop it on, just transfer it onto the other shaft. So that's the old one, the new one's on. Seal looks like it's happy in good shape. We're just going to start putting it back together. Take the shim stack that we pulled apart with the screwdriver, set it back there being a Phillips head so it can center everything up. Just drop that shim stack and all those shims right back in their happy little home and assemble in reverse order. Another shim stack, you can see all of those shims. those all back on. Had to flip it over a couple times to remember which way it came apart. And then I'm gonna go get my Loctite, give this a little dab of Loctite. Just a dab will do you. Get that guy back on, counter hold. Good and tight. Got that all back together. So there is your piston rod assembly with the new seal head, the shaft seal, the housing seal. Now let's go clean up the body, get some oil in it, and get the nitrogen recharged. Shock body filled up about halfway with fluid per the manual and the weight recommendation. Wipe a little bit of excess fluid on the new seal head O-ring so it goes in nicely. And we're going to set that bad boy back in. Very gently, making sure not to scratch nothing, making sure everything is super, super clean. Got to really hose this stuff down, take your time and clean everything up. But yeah, I mean, for this, I didn't take apart the damper adjuster, none of the upper parts, because we're just doing a seal head replacement. But again, get it filled to spec, everything super, super clean. A little bit of oil on the new seal head lips there, on the bushing. We're just going to lower it in, and then get this all put back together. Nice snug fit there. Now we're at the seal head O-ring. Very gingerly push that down and in. Come on, seal head. Now we got to push the seal head down to get the snap ring into position. Alright, let's take a look. There we go. Get that to recess down. I'm going to get my snap ring started. Get the snap ring in there in position, and then use a suitable tool to help shove. There we go. Shove that seal head down a little bit. Push the snap ring down until it's seat. Get your extra eyeballs out. Take a look, make sure that snap ring is fully seated. Yep. You can tell the snap ring's fully seated because you can only see about half of the snap ring. The other half is in its groove recess. So really, if it's that thick, you should only see half of the thickness of the spring, and that lets you know that it's fully seated. Another thing you can do is just take your little pick and push the spring around and see that it slides around and it all stays the same height. So yeah, that's all done. I'm going to tap our cap back into position. Very gingerly. Using a rubber mallet so we don't mar up the nice anodized. Just go around, tap it all in position. Alright, so that's the guts of it. Now I got to get the spring back on, get the retaining collet spring holder plates back on, and then we'll charge it up with nitrogen. Should be fun.